Hello, and welcome to our channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Single Action Army. So, this one is a Taylor's & Company running iron with a short stroke kit and a BlackRock finish. So what does all that mean? Well, the running iron comes with these grips, this trigger, this hammer, and the short stroke means that the stroke of the hammer is a lot shorter than, say, the standard. This one's a 22, but it's still comparable. As you can see, the short stroke is nearly half or even less, depending on the angle that you look at it, than the standard. And the BlackRock finish is this special coating, which is semi-gloss black and is ultra durable. So, first thing, the trigger. It's kind of flat, which allows you to get your entire finger pad on there. Gives you a nice positive pull. And yes, on this single action, the trigger doesn't stay all the way at the back when it's uncocked. Don't know why, just kind of how it mechanically works. But the trigger, I like it. It's not serrated, it's fairly smooth, which it would be kind of nice. It had maybe like a little bit of some checkering or something, but the nice wide feel of it, pretty nice. So the hammer is flat, has some serrations on it, and really feels very comfortable. Only downside is it has these corners that are kind of sharp, so if you wanted to, say, spin it, maybe watch out for that, because you can get a good cut right on the top of your hand very easy. The grips have this very beautiful checkering all over on them. Very positive. You compare that to the smooth grips of the other models, and hands down, this is better. The first thing that I would do on the standard models is replace the grips, because it's just so much better. Now that I've had this, I don't ever want to go back. The takedown is still the same. You push in this, pop out this pin right here. Right here, that is a pin, that is the base pin. And you slide that out, drop your gate, pop out your cylinder, and then clean it as is. Unload and load is you put it onto the first click, pop your gate, spin your cylinder to where it needs to be, pop out each cartridge that you need to, and then stick in your new ones, rotating the cylinder, and then you're good to go. This one, you can actually load up to all 6, because the hammer has a semi-free-floated like pin in there. That means that if you were to drop this on the hammer with a loaded cartridge in there, it in theory shouldn't go off. Have I tested that personally? No. Do I think that Uberti is smart enough to engineer that? Yes. The Taylor's & Company MSRP of this doesn't technically exist, because I got this with the 5.5-inch barrel and all of these accessories, and that happened because of a bunch of back and forth with 3 different guys behind the counter at my local gun shop, and I technically misordered, and there was a bunch of things going on, so I ended up with a 5.5-inch short stroke running iron that I then BlackRock finished, and ended up in the price range of about $800. If I had gone with the stock options in 45 cold or 357 with other barrel lengths in BlackRock finish or not BlackRock, it would have been about $600 to $700. But since I got this and then I had to tack on the BlackRock finish process, which was about $100 to $150, it added up to be a bit more. Do I regret it? Absolutely not. Look at this thing. It is beautiful and I love it. It's my favorite single action favorite single action firearm that I own. And yes, that includes 1911s. So, the aesthetic is beautiful. The finish is even, and it's got this nice semi-gloss sheen to it where it's not too bright and shiny, but at the same time, it's got that nice hue. The price was, in my opinion, fairly reasonable. The only downside, and this is with all Ubertis, I wish they would just give us better screws on these firearms, because they come from Italy. Their screw steel is not the best. It's fairly weak, and the screws on these are very soft. The frames, the barrels, the cylinders, the triggers, the hammers, everything else, very solid, very wonderful. The screws, don't know why they decided to skimp out there, or maybe they just expect everybody who has one of these to have a precision screwdriver set. When I first started getting into these, I didn't. Since then, I bought one, and I haven't, buggered up any screws since, but be aware of that. Get a good set of screwdrivers. It'll help you in the long run. So, if you're thinking about getting yourself a single action army, and you don't mind paying a little extra, maybe go for something like this. If you're thinking about getting a single action army that's maybe blued or a bit simpler, expect to pay around the $500 to $550 mark, but I guarantee they're all... Hi, sorry about that. Our camera died for various reasons. We're not sure. Technical difficulties. But if you're thinking about getting yourself a single action army, I definitely suggest it. They are some of the simplest, funnest guns. I prefer 357 and 38 Special, just because they're super available and they're fairly cheap to shoot compared to, say, a 45 Colt. But you can get a 45 Colt and 45 ACP cylinders to make it a bit cheaper, even more so than the 38 Special sometimes. But that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this content, and I hope you have a wonderful day.